I'm 30 and I'm single, and something that I quickly had to learn while dating at my 30s is that 30 or plus year old men would much rather date women that are on their early 20s than women that are 30 or plus years old. And I think the reason for that is because when you turn 30, you hit this wall where you don't take the same shit that you used to take while you were in your 20s. For example, when I was at my 20s, a guy would say, yeah, like I just need time. I cannot be in a serious relationship with you right now. And I would go for it and I would entertain this man. If a man comes today and says, hey, I'm not ready for a serious relationship, it's like, babe, you're 30. The hairline is going back. Like, what else do you need time for? So I quickly had to realize that I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time single and I have to be okay with it because I cannot go back to my 20s. I also don't want to. I love being 30 and the maturity and consciousness that I have now.
The reality is, men prefer younger women who simply don't have a mountain of baggage. By the time women hit 30, many have been completely run through, pumped, dumped, and are now desperate to settle down. Men's value increases as they age, as they become more confident and mature. A woman's value, however, declines with every reckless choice. Sorry, ladies, the game is the game.
So I just came from a first date, and I'm just gonna sum it up. It went well, right? But how he ended the date is just like, it's not much, but I love food. So this just really spoke to me. So as we were saying goodbye, he was like, did you enjoy your food? And I was like, yes, I did. I'm gonna be hungry in an hour though. And he's like, okay, I'll send you some food to your house so you won't have to spend your own money. Helping me save money on food already, and you putting food in my belly. That's a love language for me in its own. I'm already in love. So I just came from date number 2, and it just keep getting better. And then he ghosted me.
Why do you think he ghosted her? He went above and beyond to show his interest, proving he cared for her, only to suddenly ghost her. And the reason is crystal clear. He realized she brings nothing to the table. He bounced out the moment he recognized she was just using men for free meals and cheap flattery for her ego. That's the playbook for most women nowadays. They want everything, but they offer absolutely nothing in return.
Oh my God, I don't believe what I was reading yesterday. It made me feel like really like deflated. I know how hard it is to get pregnant anyway after 40, but it's saying like if you get pregnant after 40, there's basically a 25% chance that you could like end up having a miscarriage. How bad is that? So yeah, the odds on of me having a baby. No, it's not good, is it? Not good at all. So whatever's gonna be was gonna be, in it. And I knew that right in the beginning.
Biology never fails to enforce its rules, but women would much rather listen to other women telling them they can live their lives any way they want. They only end up realizing at 40 that they actually wasted their entire younger years chasing the wrong things. These deluded females never learn.
Okay, guys, explain something to me. So I was talking to this guy. This is a while back. Went on a couple dates. He was dating, made it very clear he was dating for intention to date and see if there was, not just a date around, to actually see, okay, ask all the questions, see if there's potential there with long term in the future. I was impressed because a lot of guys you don't see that from. And I was like, okay, this is a good guy. Like, that's what I'm after for. I'm not dating around just for the heck of dating for fun. But then when it comes down to it, a couple weeks later, after we've gone on a couple dates, he switched the tune like overnight one night after we had hung out. And when I called him out on it, he basically said that it seemed like I wanted something serious, which I did. I was dating for an intention too. Like wasn't looking for something right away. Like I wanted to see where it led, blah, blah, blah. But obviously I was looking for something serious and he just couldn't do that. He just wasn't ready to, I don't know what is, he wasn't ready to move. I have to read it again. Wasn't ready to move that fast. Jump into anything, which I wasn't asking to jump anything, but apparently it seemed to him that's whatever. Now that I know, he probably had a couple other girls on the roster. If you're not on the, this is why I don't ever want to do dating apps ever again. And I haven't for quite a while now. but why? Like, why? Like, obviously he had somebody else, some other options, like every other person, guys these days, and wasn't ready to be like, oh, let's look into this one. And plus, we were a little bit long distance. Um, but why? Why can't we just be honest? Hey, I want to date around. Don't say you're dating with intentions and I'm dating to see whatever if that's not what you're doing. Just be honest.
This desperate behavior stems entirely from older women's fear of having no warm partner next to them during the cold nights. They get played easily by Chads, and then they turn around and blame all men for not wanting to commit. Once Chad gets exactly what he wants, he turns her down and moves on to his next quest. Too bad for her. If only she hadn't waited until she was old and used up to decide she actually wanted a long-term relationship.
I'm coming towards the end of my trip and I'm getting a little bit in my feels. And I made a video, it's a couple of videos back, talking about rejection and the fact that I started this year experiencing lots of different rejections, both personally and professionally. Some of those were, of course, in the world of dating. And it just made me think, God, is this ever going to happen for me? Now, I talk a lot about being single and being happy. And I think that no one is perpetually happy. No one is happy 100% of the time. It's just not possible. However, in general, I'm incredibly happy because I just don't want to settle. I know the kind of relationship that I want, and so I'm willing to hold out for that relationship. However, there are days where I'm just like, oh, I would really like to start that journey now. I would really like to start that journey with somebody. And today was one of those days. I woke up and I was feeling, a little bit kind of like emotional and a little bit like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. And then all of those kind of old thoughts and patterns come up for me, like, what's wrong with me? Why does no one want me? Boo hoo. But I recognize now, and I'm very aware, self-aware, that those are just thoughts and they're not actually a reality. So I choose not to buy into them because now I have that choice. So anyway, I took myself to breakfast because I was like, I need to eat something. I took my journal. I'm like, I'm going to just journal this all out and I'm going to feel so much better. And as I was sitting down to have my breakfast with my journal, my holiday friends that I made on a trip yesterday came down for breakfast and they were leaving this morning. And I was so happy to see them because I thought they'd already left. And I don't know if you believe in coincidences or serendipity or the universe or whatever, but I certainly do. And one of the women, Ro, started telling me a story about how she'd been single for 14 years. And then she has now met this incredible man and she's in love. She's just turned 39. They've been together for like the last year or so. And she also told me that her mum didn't meet her now husband of 15 years until she was 43. She didn't meet the love of her life until she was 43. I'm of the belief that we definitely have more than one love of our life or one soulmate. I think there are many, many people. And I think for the different versions of us that we are, there are many different junctions that we can take. But when I heard her tell this story, it just filled my heart with so much joy. And I was just like, that's the hope and faith. That's the hope and faith. Because the person that I'm going to be with exists. They're alive, living their life somewhere. And when the time is right, I'm going to meet them. And that was the message that I needed to be reminded of. And that was the message that I got this morning. So whether you're male, female, if you're single and you do want a relationship, some people don't, and that's absolutely fine. And sometimes you find yourself kind of losing hope. I think it's really, really important to remember that timing is everything. Enjoy your life right now. And when you're meant to meet that person, you will. And yeah, I truly believe that's going to happen. And when it does, I'll be sharing it with all of you. Thanks, guys. Love ya.
This is just so much coping, because she absolutely cannot accept that she made her own choices not to settle down. That lame, when the time is right excuse has been sold by movies, books, and self-help gurus just to make desperate people keep hoping for a better outcome. She's probably already met a perfectly good man who was willing to do everything for her, but she rejected him because she wanted to keep exploring her options.
Was the first day ever I wanted somebody to lie to me, and I don't like liars. I'm at the gas station, right? And I get out of the car, and this fellow comes up. He sticks his card into the machine, and he started pumping my gas. He said, I got you. I was like, ooh. I said, okay. He started making small talk, asking me my name. Then he asked me what I was wearing because he said I smelled delicious. I said, ooh, not delicious. He was just saying all the right little things. I was like, okay. He said, if I give you my number, will you use it? Something told me to ask him. I was like, how old are you? He said, 27. I said, 27? I said, I'm old enough to be your mom. He was like, what? Yeah, but my mom don't look like you. I said, you sure you're 27? You're not 37? And even though 37 is still young, I just didn't want him to be 27. I said, you sure you're 27?
The moment he told her his age, reality slapped her across the face. She was enjoying the attention and the courtship, but she knows her own biological clock is loud and her remaining market value is low. The wall is cruel. It doesn't care how charming a younger man is, she knows she can't afford to date down now. He can just replace her anytime with a younger woman and leave her all alone again.
So let me ask you guys something. Like, and this is for like the girls that are dating, you're single, you're going on dates, whatever. So if two guys ask you out in the same week, do you ever try to like just get it out of the way, like all in one day? Like if two guys ask me out, I just like to like I only want to do my hair once. I only want to do my makeup once. I want to leave the house once. Like dating takes a lot of energy. Like I just really want to get it done and over with like in the same day. So I'll make like a lunch date and then like a dinner date or like a dinner date and then like go have drinks with, you know, my second date later, like killing two birds with one stone. Like I can't be the only female that does this. I know guys do it all the time. Like married guys do this. Like that's something that they do. But like for girls, like that's okay, right? Like I can't be the only one that does it. You guys do that, right?
You can clearly see why, at 35, she is still miserable, alone, and struggling desperately to date. She actually says that dating takes too much energy, claiming she only wants to put effort in once for the two men who are trying to get to know her. At this point, I think it's best if she just sends her application to adopt a cat, because no self-respecting man will ever tolerate this level of disrespectful transactional behavior. That's it for this video, guys. Help us grow by subscribing to the channel. Drop your thoughts down below and don't forget to leave a like as well. See you next time.